Hey everybody, welcome back. Hollywoodpizza here, and we've got a pretty awesome deck for you today. We're going to be playing some Mardu Midrange. The deck is built around Modrak, which is a 4-mana 4/4. Whenever one or more tokens will be created on your control, you create twice that many tokens instead. And then for 3 mana or a combination of 2 or 4 life and 1 colorless, you can sacrifice 2 of the artifacts or creatures and put an indestructible counter on it. It's not hard to do that, considering we have cards like Wedding Announcement, Fable, Resolute Reinforcements, Crawling Chorus. All these cards give you a lot of value and are going to be able to be sacrificed to the Mondrak. We also have Ob Nixilis in the deck, which is a really big part of the deck, where you can essentially get 2 Ob Nixilis tokens from the Mondrak and kind of just start to burn your opponent out, or make them discard their cards, get some Devil tokens to help finish the game off. Even double up on your Devil tokens with the Mondrak. Some of our early game does include as well the Riveteer's Requisitioner. We have some Go for the Throat for removal, and 1 Skrill's Hive to kind of get that little bit of that board presence going early. Rite of Oblivion rounds out some of our removal here, as we're able to exile any non-land permanent by sacrificing a non-land permanent ourselves. Our top end consists of 1 Sanctuary Warden, a Vraska, Betrayal Sting, and Skitterbeam Battalion. Wandering Emperor as well rounds out the deck, giving us either a good threat or some removal as well. For special lands, we have an Iganjo, a Takenuma, and a Sekenzan. A lot of other dual lands as well on top of that. For sideboard, we have an Abrade, a Lauren, a Graveyard Trespasser, a couple Archangel Wraths, another Sanctuary Warden, 1 Kaya, a Duress, a Destroy Evil, an extra Skrill's Hive, 1 Sunset Revelry, an extra Go for the Throat, a Parasitic Grasp, extra Rite of Oblivion, Unlicensed Hearse. You can definitely tell there's a bunch of different options here in the sideboard that kind of give you the right answer that you need against certain decks. This was a deck that was taken to number 3 Mythic by Ironic Velvet, a really great friend of ours. And I can definitely tell you this deck's super powerful. I think it's great on the ladder, and I think it'd be great for a tournament. Let's go ahead and jump into some games. Gonna be on the draw for this one, throwing down with some Mardu Midrange. Let's see if we can grind our opponents out, go a little bit wide on them. And we got Mulligan the Sands, no good. This is a little bit better. I think we can keep this. It's still a little bit risky, but turn 3 Fable's not bad. Ooh, Riveteer is a great draw there, actually, as we're able to cast it on turn 2 and curve out a little bit better. And it doesn't look like our opponent has anything going on yet, so let's go ahead and get Riveteers down. Try to attack, maybe get a treasure out of it. And we do draw our land here, so let's swing in for 3. Doesn't look like the opponent has anything yet. I think we will actually casualty the Ob Nixilis here because it ramps us as well with the treasure token. So let's see if our opponent has a response, maybe trying to counter one of the Ob Nixilis. Okay, no response yet. I think we just uptick on both here. No real reason to make the Devil. Looks like they're just going to take the damage and keep all their cards. So they do have like Wandering Emperor here, that's fine. Let's see, we can play Mondrak. We can make 2 tokens. So Mondrak, make 4 tokens. Seems decent. But we do run the risk of potentially having the Mondrak die or get countered. Maybe worth it just to get more of the value cards down. Let's try Fable first to see what they do. If they have like a make disappear, we can still pay for it. Okay, so we get the token. And let's see, we could try Requisitioner here. Let's uptick on the Ob Nixilis, see what our opponent does. Just keep burning them out here a little bit. Okay, they discard a card there. I'll try to play a Requisitioner. Okay, it resolves, so we still have some creatures on the battlefield. We have 2 Planeswalkers going on. Looks like they did have a Wandering Emperor here. Okay, gonna uptick on the Samurai. I think we can, let's see. We can just block. We're not gonna trade, but we'll get a treasure token out of it. I don't mind that. It means that we can play our Mondrak and potentially be able to protect it on the following turn. I think I like all my cards. Let's see, we can make a token here. 2 other artifacts and or creatures. So opponent's down to 11. Could save ourselves by doing this here. Let's try to get this Mondrak down. Maybe they have a counterspell now, maybe they don't. Okay, let's try to make 2 more tokens here. The main reason we made one earlier was just to protect the Mondrak. We don't want to lose it to a removal spell, like a destroy effect. We'll go ahead and pass. Okay, opponent's got a memory deluge here. Still seems pretty good. If they board wipe though, we still have the Mondrak, unless of course they go for the farewell, but and we both kind of just be in the same position we were in earlier where we have 2 planeswalkers and they don't. Even though the Wandering Emperor is pretty good, we can still set up our value turn with the Wedding Announcement or the Fable here. So let's see what our opponent ends up doing here. They do have quite a lot of cards in hand, 5 still. Almost enough mana to flash back the Deluge. And there is a farewell here, so they're going to get rid of everything in play. Yep. Not really much we can do about that. They'll go ahead and get a token. We'll go ahead and uptick on both Obnixilis here. Looks like the opponent's just taking the damage. Let's see. Good Wedding Announcement plus the Crawling Chorus. It's a little bit better, I think. And we get 2 blockers. And we'll pass it back. Opponent at 7 here. Lots of cards in hand, but we still have 2 Obnixilis on the battlefield, so they have to deal with our planeswalkers eventually. We can just block here, we'll get a token out of it. So not losing complete value, even though the token can't block, that's still fine. Okay, another Samurai. 4 cards in hand still from the opponent. And we hit a Rite of Oblivion, which is pretty good, because it can get rid of the Emperor, or maybe even a token. Let's see. Okay, 2 tokens if we really wanted to. That seems fine. I think I still like upticking here on the opponent. Obnixilis is just going to go higher. We may want to get rid of this, but I think we're just like mana choked right now, so the Fable is going to be a little bit better. Gets us another blocker. And let's pass back. So there's only really so much the opponent could do right now. They do have a lot of cards to discard to the Obnixilis though. Yep, Silver Scrutiny makes sure that they have some gas here to essentially get rid of whatever junk's in their hand, to make sure they can keep this Obnixilis at bay. Now they're at 3, so if we're able to get them down to 2... Okay, yep. I was about to say, if we are able to get them down to 2 tokens will be enough to kill them, but unfortunately... Okay, coming in Ob. Let's see, I think we can just block with 1 creature here. Okay, let's get some redraws. I think we're a lot better off trying to find something good here. We hit a Mondrak. I think that's fine so long as it resolves. Okay, unfortunately they have the Syncopate here to get rid of it. Uptick on the Obnixilis. And let's pass back. So creature's a little bit bigger, which is nice now. Able to block their Samurais a little bit better. Okay, gonna uptick in the Augury. So So they get to proliferate their Wandering Emperor and the Samurai token. Still got a pretty good block here though. They could attack it just to get rid of one of our tokens. Okay, they're gonna go in. Alright, so they could have another Wandering Emperor here. If they do, that's fine. Just means that they're gonna tap out. Okay, they don't. So far, good. So get rid of most of their board. And let's see here. Yeah, we're gonna attack. See if we can get our opponent low enough here that the devil token will just kill them. Alright, they go down to 1. We'll make a devil token. So they need to have another Wandering Emperor here. Sacrifice the devil token, deal them 1. And do they just have another Wandering Emperor to gain some life? Okay, just a syncopate. But then they take the 1 from the devil. Really close game there, able to take that down. Let's move on to game 2 here. Gonna sideboard. Looks like we're kind of playing against a control deck here, blue based. So for this matchup, I don't mind the duress. Trespasser is pretty good. Kaya's inevitability. Scroll's Hive seems a little bit worse on the draw, but is pretty decent against them considering we're up against control. We can get rid of... let's see here. I think we want to get rid of our expensive cards. Syncopate's still pretty good against us. Go for the Throat was just okay. It's not the greatest, but we know that they can make tokens. So we don't want to get rid of all of those. Let's get rid of a Mondrak. Might want to get rid of some of our top end here. The Sanctuary Warden's fine, but Farewell is really good against it. I'd rather have a Kaya. And we just have to cut one more card. I think we cut another Mondrak. Yeah, I think we can cut down to 2 Mondraks here. I think that's fine. Even though it's a big part of the deck, you know, the Ob Nixilis and some of our other anti-control cards are really what we're hoping to lean on here. And we do have to take a mulligan. This is a lot better. Let's go ahead and put a Wedding Announcement back. We have Riveteers into Ob Nixilis again, which is nice. Drawing the chorus is actually really good. We'll play the chorus first. That way it gives them kind of like a threat that they have to deal with right away. Let's deal some Toxic here, at least try to. They have a removal spell. Okay, that was a pretty good one. Usually we're pretty happy with the removal spell if it's a destroy effect. Just because we'd get a token, but the fact that they're using a March early on that is pretty good for us. 3 cards. I think we just try to come in for 3 here. They have a kill spell, we have a Wedding Announcement back up. Okay. They could have a counter spell here, so if we ob, we'd still get a treasure. I think that's still the play, just because even if they counterspell the Ob Nixilis, we get one of them and we get a treasure. So either way, we still get some value out of this. Okay. And we just get both, so let's go to uptick again on both Ob Nixilis here. Okay, it looks like they just have a Faithful Absence, so luckily they killed the one that we had already upticked, so we're able to use the other one. Might have been a bit of a mistake there on their end. Okay, Witness the Future, that's fine. They get a card draw, essentially. We'll get one of our better 3-drops on the battlefield. Let's get this Wedding Announcement down first. We'll go to uptick on the Ob Nixilis. Okay, get a token. So you can definitely see how we're just accruing a ton of value here. Okay, we'll draw our land. Let's go to uptick on Ob Nixilis, see what they do. Fable first. They could still counter this, but Okay, no counterspell. Might have a Wandering Emperor. Don't really want to play into it in all honesty. You know, we don't want them to gain life. Yep. And we can have this Resolute Reinforcement end step. Potentially trying to come in for lethal on the following turn. Okay, gonna uptick, that's fine. They attack the Obnixilis. I think we just let the damage happen. We have a good amount of attackers coming back the other way. Let's try to reinforcements here. They have a counterspell. It's okay. So we get it down. Seems pretty good. We have a Skrell's Hive. And we have a Rite of Oblivion. I think I'm okay with both of these. If we attack, they block here, take 4, go down to 5. I think I would rather try to exile this. We could make a token that would put them at 8, exile this. I don't really like that though. Let's exile this. Sacrificing a soldier token. They have a counterspell, at least we have the Skrell's Hive backup. Okay, no counterspell. Uptick on Obnixilis. And try to play this Hive. Doesn't look like they have a counterspell yet, so go ahead and pass it back. We still have a Planeswalker that's doing some work. Could have a Farewell here on 6, but we're still left with the Obnixilis. Yep, there's a Scrutiny. So the opponent's drawing a ton of cards. And they're going to attack the Obnixilis. I think we just double block here. If they have a removal, that's fine. Yeah, it looks like they just have the Farewell here, considering they kind of just suicided their card into us. I would imagine. Seems like the play. If they don't make the play, it's kind of weird. Especially considering they attacked. Yep, there's a Farewell. So unfortunately going to lose most of our board here. We'll uptick of this Obnixilis. We'll go ahead and play another one. Uptick that one as well. And we're kind of just slowly starting to whittle the opponent's hand down. We can make some doubles. If we get a Mondrak, we'd be able to make a lot of doubles. Let's uptick again. Just going to keep upticking here. Opponent's going to take some damage. We'll play the land and pass it back. Yep, there's a Wandering Emperor. They'll get to make a token, so they can attack one of the Obnixilis for 3. There's an Augury. They're at 5 though, so we're really looking for a good top deck here. Okay, gonna make a Samurai. They get to attack one of the Obnixilis. Okay, Revelry is gonna get to gain them some life. Getting blockers there is great. We'll uptick on both of these Obs. Opponent does not want to get rid of the cards in their hand. We'll pass it back. Still have some blockers, which is nice. Okay, gonna uptick. We're gonna try to reinforcement here. Okay, we get it. And let's see. Yeah, we'll block. That way they have to keep attacking the Obnixilis. Kaya, we can't cast it. We'll uptick here. Uptick again. Alright, pretty much get rid of most of the cards in our opponent's hand. They uptick here. They have to go after the Obnixilis with 7 counters. Or else they lose, yep. So that puts it down to 2. Okay, we hit a land, which isn't ideal. Let's uptick on this Obnixilis. Okay, they'll deluge in response. So potentially looking for Potentially maybe a way to get rid of our Nicholas will uptick here. We get them down to 3. So Kaya is lethal if we can get to it. We just need 1 land off the top of our deck. We'd uptick on the Kaya. Okay. Opponent does have another Sunset Revelry though, so that does get them back up to 7, fortunately. Definitely putting a damper on our plans here. And one of our Obnixilis is going to go down to 2. So we can uptick on Ob. We do hit the land. It's getting pretty close here. Put this at 7. Let's see. So we can uptick here. They'll probably discard. Okay, they took it. Look at Kaya. Put it at 8. Then they have to attack Kaya. Could also make a token. That doesn't seem all that good because then Kaya will die. We could also draw 2 cards. Is an option. Also has a resolve. If they have like a they have a counter spell here. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that we're going to be able to come back from this. Alright, so it's going to be game 3 here. Don't really think we want to make too many changes. I think we're fine where we're at. Got a little bit unlucky there, you know, they've had the farewell both times, and the life gain definitely helped them out. If they didn't have the Sunset Revelry, you can definitely tell how the Kaya was going to finish that game out very quickly. Alright, so let's see what we got for game 3 here. Hopefully we're on the draw, or excuse me, on the play. And we're able to draw some good threats here. And get a good curve going. Yep, this hand's phenomenal. Can't go wrong with multiple Fables and a Hive. Seems pretty good. Let's get the Hive down early. We did draw another Fable of the Mirror Breaker, but it's okay. We have this Black Cleave Cliffs that we're going to cast. Alright, let's try to get this Fable down. We're starting to get a little bit of an army with the Skrelv's Hive, which is nice. Okay, Syncopate. At least we have some board presence here with an enchantment and a creature. Maybe be able to deal some toxic damage to our opponent here pretty quick. Okay, they just have a Sunset Revelry. They'll get some creatures. We get a Wandering Emperor. We're just going to smash in. We'll still play the Fable. Pass it back. And they still have a lot of cards in hand. No good attacks. We'll get a token. Hitting Duress here is amazing. I actually like our hand. So let's Duress, try to get that Farewell out of their hand. And then we can start attacking with our tokens as well. Okay, there's a Farewell, no Wandering Emperor, but they have a Lockdown. Lockdown's pretty good. They can't cast Farewell for 2 turns. Farewell does tap them out as well. We could Deluge. Really good hand from our opponent here. I think we just get rid of this Lockdown. And then we'll go ahead and attack. And we'll see how they block. Okay, just gonna exile that. I think I'm okay getting aggressive here. Just because they don't really have an answer. They can Augury. But I think we just want to go in here and try to kill our opponent as fast as we can. Let's get rid of this token. So they'll probably Augury, getting themselves closer to the Farewell. They really need to just hit some land drops here, pretty much. So if we can dodge that for at least 1 turn, we might be okay, but it's looking like they're getting closer to the Farewell either way. Obnixilis is a fantastic draw. Fable's great, but not necessarily going to do anything right now. Let's attack for 3 first, see what our opponent does. And we'll try to cast this Obnixilis for casualty. Sacrificing. Let's see. I think either way, it's not really going to matter. Yeah, let's just make come in with 1 loyalty is fine. It's not like a big deal. Okay, so Ob's going to put a ton of pressure here on our opponent. I'm going to take it. We'll make a token, putting a lot more pressure on them to have to look for this land. Deluge probably hits it. But we still have 3 Planeswalkers in play. They're running out of cards, potentially. Yep, there's land, and the Farewell's going to come down now. So a bit annoying. Obviously, they were able to get their cards on time. And we hit another Obnixilis, which is great. So uptick here on both. Make a Samurai. Get 2 more Obnixilis. Yeah, I think that's fine. So let's keep the new one. Uptick again. So now we have a lot of Obnixilis. We got 3 of them down. We have a Wandering Emperor. Opponent's definitely in an awkward situation where we have 3 Planeswalkers doing just a ton of work here. We will uptick on one of the tokens first. Okay. Uptick on this other one. Let's see if we just get rid of some cards out of their hand. They end up taking the damage that time. Gonna uptick again here. They go down to 1. Make a Samurai. Try to cast Fable. And we can downtick on these Obnixilis to sacrifice with the Right of Oblivion to potentially try to go for lethal. We could have a Sunset Revelry, which would be a little bit annoying. Maybe that's what they've been holding on to. Okay, there's a Wandering Emperor. Making a Samurai, yep. Opponent's still 2 cards in hand. We have a ton of value going on, though. And let's see if our opponent has an answer for our 4 Planeswalkers. We can just chump block here, no big deal. No trample, so don't have to worry about that. Okay, there's an Augury. And let's see, they got 3 cards left, so they have to get rid of these Obnixilis. Okay, Witness the Future. They only have 1 mana, so we should be good now to essentially finish the game off. And we actually have Requisitioner, just in case. So we could just do this. Attack our opponent. Yep, and that's going to be the game. We'll see you for the next one. Going to be on the play here, playing some more Mardu Midrange. This hand's definitely keepable. We got plenty of plays here. Let's go start off with the Crawling Chorus. Into the Resolute Reinforcements, and then we have Obnixilis on turn 3, which is fantastic. Yeah, let's start off with this. I think we just attack. And let's pass it back. Do leave ourselves open to like a counterspell by passing, but I think that's okay. Yep, let's go and get 2 1/1s here. We'll get to untap, maybe slam this Obnixilis, we'll see. Okay. That's not bad. Let's come in for damage first, see what our opponent does. Maybe they tap out, maybe they don't. Okay, and they just have it go for the throat. That's fine. We'll get some value out of it. Yeah, I think we'll start off with this Obnixilis early. Sacrificing a token. And I think we'll just uptick on both. They'll probably take the damage, unless they have some extra lands they can discard. Yep. Uptick again. And feeling pretty good about that one. Okay, Fable. Seems pretty good. We'll play our own Fable. And we're just going to keep upticking here on these Obnixilis. That way we can deal our opponent the most amount of damage as possible that we can. And our opponent's definitely going to the tank here. Let's see what they got for us. Definitely going to time. I think they're just thinking about what they want to discard here, which is good for us. It means that they have some decent cards, but at the same time they are also, we're also putting them in a position where they have to make these tough choices. So if they do make the wrong choice, then things are looking pretty good. We'll go to uptick on the other one as well. No reason to attack. We'll pass it back. And looks like the opponent's gonna discard some cards to the Fable here. Yep. So they did have a lot of extra lands to discard, which is potentially why they were thinking about it, whether or not they wanted to discard those lands to the Obnixilis or just do them later. And I think I'll trade here. Seems fine. Get their creature off the battlefield, one of their mana sources as well. They have an Invoke, then we are going to lose a good amount of our board. We do get to keep the Obnixilis though, which is nice. Fortunately, we'd probably have to sacrifice the token, which most of the time you'd rather sacrifice the real Ob. And yeah, let's get rid of this reinforcement. And we have to get rid of one of our Obs. I think I'd rather get rid of the one with the less loyalty. Hitting a wedding announcement is great. Let's get that down. Let's uptick here. Putting some more pressure on our opponent to have to make a decision. And we'll get 2 poison on our opponent. Get another token. If they have another Invoke, it's obviously going to be a bit troublesome for us here. Just because it's going to get to wipe our board. They're not going to get the redraw though, which is nice. Okay, Corpse Appraiser's fine. Definitely problematic. We've got some blockers. We have a Fable next turn. Plus the wedding announcement token. So definitely going to be a bit grindy here against our opponent. Mondrak is actually a phenomenal hit here. You can go ahead, make some tokens. That's a turn back, get another token, and things are looking pretty good now. We could have potentially just killed the reflection by sacking both of these. Yeah, let's just do that. We have to. I don't really think we have a choice. We don't want to just lose our Mondrak to the Bloodtide Harvester here. So they get the copy of their Corpse Appraiser, that's fine. We still have plenty of blocks. So let's shoot the reflection down. Yeah, definitely maybe wanted to do that, just because if they hit a removal here, we're not going to be able to get our Mondrak to indestructible. So we may be in some trouble here. Maybe a go for the throat. Might have been a mistake there. Yeah, fortunately we might have wanted to do this on our turn, because it puts us in this awkward situation now where We lose our best card. They can attack the Planeswalker. We're going to lose some more permanents on the battlefield, so definitely a big mistake there on our end. I really wanted to do that while they were tapped out. We had to go for the throw, which makes up a little bit for that mistake. But definitely troublesome. We'll uptick on the Obnixilis. You don't want to just give your opponent some free value. Let's go get a token. We have to attack with this. And we'll get another token here. Everything gets bigger. So opponent down to 2 cards. Obviously Invoke would be pretty backbreaking here for us. Okay, gonna cycle. Get a redraw. Just a land. 1 card in hand. With a blood token out. We hit a Fable, which is a Wedding Announcement, which is great. We don't want to use the Fable ability. No reason to. Gonna uptick on the Obnixilis. Let's see if they discard their last card. Okay, gonna take 2. Let's see. We can swing out. Or we just swing with the Goblin. I'd rather get the token from the Wedding Announcement than the card draw. Just because we're going so wide, we're putting a lot of pressure on our opponent here, so they could trade. That's fine. Let's get the Wedding Announcement down. And we'll pass back. We get a token. Opponent's at 7. You can definitely tell how we're grinding them out a little bit though with the Planeswalker, the Fable. Most of our other cards get a Blood Tide, but doesn't have haste, so able to take that one down by just outvaluing the opponent. And let's see. 1 Duress is fine. Go for the throat. Lauren could be useful, but we know that they only really play the Fable, so it's not the greatest. Sunset Revelry helps a little bit against them. The Hive is okay, but we're on the draw. I like Kaya here as well. Or maybe even another Sanctuary Warden. We have quite a bit of options. The Hive is a little bit worse on the draw. It does protect us against the Invoke though. And Ob's just okay here. Could cut a Mondrak. Bring in the Graveyard Trespasser maybe. It's kind of like another value card, or the Kaya, just because Kaya has hexproof. We kind of just have a little bit more inevitability with that. Well, we may want to get rid of one of our bigger plays here. Skitterbean seems fine. Could get rid of the Skitterbean for the Archangel. Yeah, I like that a little bit more. We can get the Archangel in there just because the Archangel kills a lot of their cards and is a really high value card, gains its life. It flies. And yeah, I think we keep this. It's a little bit awkward, but I think it's okay. We have the Duress on turn 1 if we really want to. We may just want to wait. Kind of just depends what our opponent does. If we wait, we can get the Sundown. Potentially to go for the throat, but they could also have a Duress here. Yep, and it looks like they do, so probably gonna lose the Fable or our own Duress just so we don't get to see their hand. If that's the case, then we're definitely gonna start off with that Sundown Pass. We know they can't get rid of the Mondrak. And we hit a land here. So I think it's actually okay to just play this and pass, just because we're going to have enough lands here to make these come into play untapped. Okay, tap land. I think we'll just Springs and potentially just kill whatever they play here, even if it's a Fable. We'll kill the token. And opponent's going for the duress, so they're going to get rid of our Fable here. They had a Blood Tithe Harvester, but we'll just kill that. Looking for a good 3-drop. We have tons of good value cards in our deck. Okay, fortunately we don't hit one, so we'll just pass here. We just have a Mondrak in our hand. Can't really run that out. It's our only option, though. So, let's just get it out. Obviously our hand is really bad after that, considering we only really have 3 lands. Opponent could be digging for an answer here, so let's get the Mondrak down. And it looks like they have it. Oh, they actually don't. There was a little bit of a stop there, so I wasn't sure. Kaya's pretty good. We play the cave because they know about it. And let's pass. So Kaya going to be good in 2 turns if they don't have another duress. They have an invoke. Lose the Mondrak. They get some draws, which is good for them. Pass it back here. So we still have Kaya, but unfortunately invoke does get rid of it if they have another one. We're at 15. Corpse Appraiser wouldn't be bad. Just because we can exile and get our own Corpse Appraiser. Get some value out of it. Just got our opponents counting up their mana to see what they can cast. Okay, Blade Coil Serpent. And we discard 2 cards. So a bit of trouble here. Gonna take the 6 if we top deck a land. Okay, we can play Kaya. And let's exile the Blade Coil Serpent. Get it back as a token. Doesn't get to do anything, but we know that it can't kill our Kaya right now. Definitely in some trouble if they have another invoke. Okay, Shieldred, pretty scary still. Definitely not what we want to see. It can't target the Kaya, which is good for us. We'll go down to 6 on the draw here. Might have to go down a lot more than that. If we want to kill the Shieldred, I think drawing 2 cards gives us the best choice. Okay, and they do have a Corpse Appraiser to follow it up with. There's the Mondrak going away. And we hit a Vraska, which is great. So we can cast the Vraska. Downtick on the Shieldred. Let's see, we get to draw 2 cards. They get to scry 1. Oh, we uptick to save the Kaya just in case. Let's pass. You have to have a removal spell for the 1/1, but then they still don't get to kill either one of our planeswalkers here. So they can use a card, but there's somewhat of a good chance that we'll get to redraw here either way if they have an invoke. And we potentially lose both of our cards here, which is a bit problematic. But that's definitely on the opponent now to have the right cards in these right situations. Okay, just an Abrade. I'll get to attack Kaya, that's fine. And they have a Sorin. Okay, so no invoke, which is great. Okay, tap land. Yep, they get a token. We hit a Rite of Oblivion. So we'll draw. Let's see. We can draw. Yeah, I think drawing's the best here. Okay, unfortunately we don't hit anything there. Let's draw 2 more cards. A bit unfortunate. We just hit a lot of lands in a row there. And now our planeswalkers are actually just dead. We can sacrifice the Vraska to exile the Corpse Appraiser. We'll keep the Kaya. It's not ideal. But unfortunately, that's all that we have right now because we didn't get to hit. 3 draws, we didn't hit anything good. So let's pass back. We still have this Kaya. Definitely in some trouble here. Yep, gonna uptick on the Sorin. We get an extra draw. Looks like Kaya's gonna take 2. Definitely in a bit of a rough spot here. Gonna cycle the Xander's Lounge. Potentially trying to hit the invoke they need. Yep, there's the invoke. Yeah, unfortunately we go down to 3. And yeah, just drew 3 lands in a row there off of our Planeswalkers. You know, if we draw any card there, we're in pretty good position. But unfortunately we kind of just bricked there, so let's see if we can draw something good here. Or it looks like we're going to be going into game 3. And there's not really many cards we can draw that get us out of this. Sanctum Warden would be pretty good. Privateers, not really going to do it. Let's see, let's go ahead and just blitz this in. I'm on the right of Oblivion the Sorin. We could draw something good here to get rid of the token, or we just go down to 1. I can't really use our pain lands after that though, so definitely in a bit of a tough spot here. I think we just have to do this. Gives us the best shot at winning. Or maybe even finding an answer that we need. We can kill this. Okay, Resolute Reinforcements. It's okay, not ideal. We're gonna have to use the treasure for it or else we lose. Yeah, most of our lands are pain lands, so we're definitely in a bit of a bind here. Yep, gonna go down to 1. There's a Blood Tithe Harvester. And we'll get these Resolute Reinforcements down. So it's looking like we need the Archangel or bust. If we hit the Archangel, we can kill the Blood Tithe Harvester, hit them for 2. And do they just have a kill spell here? Maybe they have a way to deal us damage. Okay, we'll get the tokens for now. And we draw a Requisitioner. Yeah, it's not going to do it, so got to move on to game 3 here. A little bit unfortunate there. I think we got pretty close, but you know, drawing 3 lands in a row, definitely going to be problematic. Let's bring in a little bit more of our top end here because we know the game's going to grind out. We don't want to be in that situation again where we don't have a way to finish the game there. But I think it was just a little bit of some bad luck, honestly, at the end of the day. And we're going to be on the play this time, which is great. Alright, let's see. If we can get a good curve out, that'd be nice. I think this is okay. We're on the play. I don't think that I want a mulligan here. Start off with the Sundown Pass. If they have a Duress, it's obviously going to be painful because we have some really good value cards, but we need them to stick. Probably going to take the Fable first if they do Duress. Wedding Announcement's pretty good value though. Both of these enchantments do a lot of work, so the opponent didn't mulligan. And they have a tap land to start. We'll go ahead and play our Swamp down and pass it back. And they have a Blood Tithe Harvester, that's fine. We'll Haunted Ridge into a Fable token, that way we can block their Blood Tithe. Or maybe they just use it to try to kill the token, that's fine too. Eventually looking to get this Vraska down. Yep, just gonna kill it. And they have a Corpse Appraiser, I'm guessing. Wow, Duress, yep. So, could get rid of the wedding announcement because it's a lot of value. Or maybe they get rid of the Vraska because it's good later. Alright, I think we can ditch the right and the Battlefield Forge. Okay, we get some redraws. Let's play this Cleave. And try to get another Fable down. Looks like they have the Make Disappear this time, though, potentially. We'll see if they do. We have a Vraska next turn, which will be nice. If they counter this, we're going to hope that they don't have another counter spell. They tap out. Let's say they play Shelly, then we can just tap out with the Vraska. Make the Shieldred a treasure token. Yeah, opponent's definitely going in the tank. Whether or not they want to let this resolve, they do. So that means they probably have a cut down for the token, at least. Okay, they actually get to just untap. We'll see if they Shieldred. If they do, we feel pretty good because they tap out, and then we can get our Planeswalker down. And we still have two Fables that are just putting in a lot of work here. Okay, so they tapped out, but interesting choice of a card in the Brotherhood's end. Let's see if they have a land drop. If they do, they're probably going to try to counter the Vraska. Okay, no land drop. So do they still have a Spell Pierce, maybe? Could definitely be a thing here, so I think we ditch a land. It's a little bit risky, but we get some more redraws off the Vraska, which is nice. Okay, that's gonna flip. Let's get rid of the Sulphur Springs. We hit a Duress. We'll pay the life for the Vraska. And draw. I'm gonna make them have another Brotherhood's End here. We'll flip the other Fable as well. And we have a land for later if we need it for one of our 6 drops. So let's see what our opponent's up to here. Three cards in hand. And they could discard their blood token to maybe try to dig for an answer here, which is what I believe they'll do. They have a stop. I mean, they're not really responding right now. Okay, they get to untap. 3 cards in hand. There's the Invoke Despair. So unfortunately they are going to wipe our battlefield. And you can definitely tell how powerful that card is just because it automatically puts our opponent back into a winning position here. We'll keep the land. We want to discard it to the Fable. Shieldred, but we have the answer for it. So let's go for the throat here. They still have a blood token. Definitely in a little bit more trouble than we were before, considering that they got rid of most of our board state there. We were way ahead, but still looking okay. You know, we have the Fable. Yep, discard both of these lands. Fantastic draws there. Let's get a treasure. Let's play this Obnixilus. And make a token. Uptick. I think we just uptick here, actually. Make our opponent lose the life. They have to deal with what's going on, or else they just lose to these obs. Could have a creature that has haste here. If they do, that's fine. Just gonna tap them out for the turn. Okay, just another Shieldred. It's fine. Gonna have to lose the life. Okay. So let's see here. We can make the token, but then we just have 3 mana. I think this is fine. Sacrifice the treasure. Exile the Shieldred. Uptick on both Obnixilis. And we still have 6 mana for the Sanctuary Warden. Uptick again. They'll go down to 14. We have 2 Planeswalkers and a Reflection that is potentially going to put in some work if we draw an untapped land. We can get 2 Sanctuary Wardens essentially down. And it looks like our opponent's going to go to the tank here with 2 cards maybe. Okay, Soul Transfer, going to get rid of one of the Obnixilis, that's fine. We still have another one. We draw a Fable, which is great. I think that we can... Let's see. I think I'd rather just Sanctuary Warden here. Yeah, let's get that down. Uptick on our opponent. Okay, they take the damage. We drew the land. And we'll pass it back. We can make a copy of the Sanctuary Warden on their turn, end step. And they hit an Invoke Despair. So let's see. We have to sacrifice an enchantment, so we have to sacrifice a Reflection either way. Let's make a copy of this. Okay, so we have to sacrifice a creature. Sacrifice this, they'll redraw. But yeah, our opponent's just going to pack it up. They're just so behind now. You can definitely tell how we were able to grind them out that match.
This video is brought to you by MagicJank.com, the spiciest cards for your sauciest decks. Buy and sell Magic the Gathering products and gear today on MagicJank.com.
Looking for the latest comic book to add to your collection? How about the last card for that Magic the Gathering Commander deck? Well, the comic book stores got you covered. Shop online at comicbookstore.tcgplayerpro.com or come in person at 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey. Pizza people, are you enjoying the content? Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Hit that bell icon as well. That way, anytime any of our new content comes out, you're able to see it right away. Hey, leave a comment down below as well. Tell us what you're going to play in the next event, or tell us what you're enjoying about the video. Don't forget, check out the description too. We've got tons of great content down below, and on top of that, we're going to have our tournament schedule too. So get in on it. Hope to see you. Let's see if we can outvalue our opponents. And I think this is actually a pretty good hand here. Definitely keepable. We've got Riveteers into a Wedding Announcement plus Rite of Oblivion to make sure that we can get rid of any problematic permanent. Drawing an untapped land. So go ahead and play the Riveteers. And looks like our opponent does not have a play. I think we'll come in for 3 first, see what our opponent does. We could get 2 Obnixilis, which is a pretty good start here considering that our opponent doesn't have any way to really stop it. And it's definitely going to be one of our 3 drops here. I think we're just going to go for the Obnixilis. And we'll go get a treasure token. We'll uptick on both. And looks like our opponent's going to go ahead and pack it up after we got both of these Obnixilis down. And let's see here. So we didn't really get to see what they were doing. We know they're in a Phyrexia deck. So they're going to be very mid-rangey. Now we're going to be on the draw this time. So some of our cards are going to be a little bit slower. We don't really know what is in their deck yet. Could bring in some of our more top end, an Archangel, but those cards could be a little bit slow. I think since we didn't really get to see much of what they're doing, I don't mind just running it back. I think this hand's a little bit more questionable. We are on the draw. Okay, this mulligan's kind of about the same. I think I'm just going to keep this hand. It's a little bit worse than our first one, honestly. But I don't want to go down to 5. Gonna be on the draw to start this one. I hit a Mondrak. So we don't have double white for that yet. We'll just play our Black Cleave Cliffs and pass. Okay, opponent has tap land. We have another Black Cleave, so let's go pass it back. Really want to hit our Mondrak on time here. So another white source would be pretty nice. Topiary Stomper cannot attack yet. They'll go ahead and get a Plains. Looks like that was the only thing that was missing. We could go for the throw here, but Stomper's not really much of a threat. Playing this Obnix list by itself is a little bit awkward, but I think that's going to be okay. Go ahead and make our opponent discard. And a little bit of a mistake, we needed to play one of our white sources there to be able to get this Mondrak down, but at the same time I think it's okay. Just because we don't necessarily want to play it without having that mana open to be able to give it indestructible. We don't have 2 creatures because we didn't make one here, but I still think that's okay. 1 to the top, 4 to the bottom. And they are actually able to attack our Obnix list now because they did hit 7 lands off of the Slimefoot Survey. And we're in a little bit of some trouble here. Probably should have go for the throw to that a little bit ago, but I think that's okay. It's our first time playing the deck, so a couple mistakes are going to be made here and there. And I think we can just take that 4. Okay, another Stomper. So a little bit of some trouble here for us. And let's kill one of these and get a Resolute Reinforcements down. Obviously a little bit annoying we're not able to double up on the tokens here, but I think that's fine. Alright, so we hit a Fable. Let's go get Mondrak down. We are taking quite a bit of damage here, but we might be able to accrue a lot of value here in a moment. So let's go pass it back. If they try to kill this, we can just make it indestructible, but unfortunately it looks like they have an Exile spell instead in the Leyline Binding. So Mondrak's going to go away. And they have a 1 with the Multiverse, so they're able to cast something big for free here, potentially. Okay, Herd Migration, they get 5 3/3s. I'm just going to take this hit one more time. Right, of Oblivion does get our Mondrak back. Okay, let's sacrifice. Let's see, we'd rather get our Mondrak over the 1 with the Multiverse. We can do both. But then we'd just be left with a 4/4 against this army of creatures. Let's see, we can exile this. Sacrificing the Resolute. Play Mirror Breaker. 2 goblins and we'll pass. So definitely in some trouble here. They're able to cast some cards for free. Okay, they get a redraw. See what our opponent has here. Okay, creating more tokens. And it definitely looks like we're in trouble here, even if we were to block the devils when they die. We take 3 extra points of damage, so a little bit of some trouble there. I think we want the Lauren. Let's see. Definitely might have wanted to kill the Topiary Stomper earlier. Was not expecting them to get to 7 mana so quickly, but definitely happens. Let's see, maybe we want the other right. Gonna be on the play this time. Skrelvs isn't the worst. Let's see. Would we rather maybe cut a Mondrak? I don't think so. Chorus is okay. It's a little bit slow. May also want to destroy evil, just because it's going to be able to kill a lot of targets. Duress isn't bad. Extra good for the throat isn't bad either. I think that we could cut down on the obs here. And let's see, we just need to cut one more card. Could end up being one of our top end here. Crawling Chorus is okay. Maybe we bring in the Hive instead. Yeah, let's do that. Let's bring in the second Hive. Let's try something like this. See if we can get a quick start on our opponent and kind of overwhelm them with our board state here. Gonna be on the play. I think we keep this. It's a little bit slower, but I think it's fine. We have the Lauren to kill any type of problematic enchantment, artifact, and a go for the throat to interact early with our opponent. So let's go pass it back. See if they have a 2-drop. If so, I think we just want to go for the throat. So ends up being a Bankbuster, which is still fine because we have the Lauren. So we'll go and blow that up. And pass turn back. Okay, opponent with 6 cards in hand now. And it looks like they just passed it back. We'll go ahead and attack for 2. And I think we just pass a turn here. We have 2 lands that we can use utility-wise. Okay, looks like they're just going to gain some life. Go get a basic land, get closer maybe to their Atraxa. Okay, island. Let's make some 1/1s. Consider they didn't cast anything. And we've got a good amount of attackers now. We can actually play the Mondrak. They may still have a Leyline here, but we have a Destroy Evil. So they may end up taking a lot more damage just to get rid of our Mondrak here. Yep. If they target the Lauren, that's fine. But it looks like luckily we're going to get some more damage in there. So let's beat down a little bit more. Pass a turn back, and we still have 2 removal spells in our hand. Plus attack Enuma to potentially get a card out of it if need be. Okay, Slimefoot. So our opponent's definitely ramping up pretty big here. Let's see what they end up getting. Okay, a couple more Triomes. So they get the Scry. Scry 5. We'll see what order they put the cards in here. And we're still looking pretty good. We still have some creatures on the battlefield that are attacking. Like I stated earlier, we could destroy the binding with the destroy evil if need be. And then follow that up with potentially doubling up on some tokens on our turn if we can draw a token producer here. So yeah, 4 on the bottom. Keeping the 1 on top. We had a Rite of Oblivion, which is pretty good. Man, must want to play the Takanuma now. Rite of Oblivion this. Our turn. Yeah, we can do that. And let's pass it back. Okay, looks like they have another Slimefoot, which is fine. We still have 7 points of damage on the battlefield, so if they try to go for like a blocker, we can kill that. Kill like an Atraxa, and then still keep our 2-turn clock going here. We can actually just blitz this in. It'll get us a redraw, 2 treasures if our Mondrak survives. So let's come in for a lot more damage here. Still expecting a leyline. Okay, opponent with no leyline yet. We'll pass it back. We may get 2 treasures here. And draw a card. Yep, seems pretty good. We'll pass it back. See what our opponent's up to here. Okay, Eternal Wander. So they may end up making us sacrifice our creatures, so we'll keep the 1/1. Let's see here. Is there anything we could do? I guess we can attack Enuma. Okay, so we get to keep the 1/1. And they may have a follow-up play here. Luckily we have a Rite of Oblivion to get rid of the Wander. Yeah, let's go ahead and attack Enuma here. See if we can hit something good. Okay, so we have a slew of options here. We have Vraska, Ornament Emperor, Mondrak. We may want the Vraska because it's the most value. Can draw us cards, proliferate, get rid of problematic permanents. Let's attack the Wandering Emperor. Alright, we get to kill it. And I think we're just gonna full play Vraska here. No reason to pay the life. We'll draw a card, proliferate, and we'll pump up the Vraska as well. So let's see what our opponent has for us. They could just have a leyline here. Okay, Herd Migration Cycle. That's fine. Do have a lot going on. Okay, Leveler, so they get to exile the Vraska. Fortunately, we can't go for the throat that. But we do have Destroy Evil for it. Okay, Bankbuster. So some problematic cards from our opponent here, but we definitely have some answers. Let's see what we can hit for 1. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Let's destroy this. And then we have Obnixilis and Wedding Announcement. I guess this only taps for colorless though, so we can't cast both. They might crew here. It's fine if they do. We can Rite of Oblivion this if we really wanted to. I think it's better just to get the Obnixilis down. Target our opponent here. And we'll pass it back. So Ob might die here from the leveler coming down. We'll have to block. Okay, they're just making some creatures. That's fine. Not as bad as it could be. We can still go for the throat one of these. Play the wedding announcement next turn. Probably crew the Bankbuster though. Try to attack the Ob. Okay, pretty surprised they didn't. I think we'll just try to shoot some of these down. They have one card left. They're probably going to discard it. More than likely. See what they do here. Okay, we'll go ahead and get the wedding announcement down. And we could exile the Bankbuster. I think that's fine. We'll just pass. We get a token. Definitely in a bit of a sticky situation now. Skitter Beam wouldn't be bad. Could potentially win us the game here on a crackback. Yep, there's a leveler, probably destroying the Ob Nixilis. And we're gonna have to make some really awkward blocks here, but opponent's still at 6 life. They have wanted to copy the Ob that one turn over keeping a blocker. Yep, gonna destroy the Ob Nixilis. And let's see, 14, that puts us down to 5. We know they don't have the leveler anymore because it's gonna get exiled. Okay, we get a reinforcement. It's not gonna do it, unfortunately. Just, I think we made a lot of mistakes there.